Why is fake respect even scarier than real control? I bet you've experienced. When you were a child, your parents took you shopping. They always smiled and told you to pick whatever you like. But when you happily chose something you truly loved, they always refuted you with various excuses such as, why buy this? This is too expensive. We can't afford it. This is too mature for you. This doesn't look like something a student should use. They seemingly gave you ample freedom of choice, but in reality, they constantly challenged your every decision. Gradually, you began to doubt your own vision and judgment, becoming more and more hesitant to make decisions. What's most frustrating is that they've clearly already made the decision for you, yet they still pretend to give you the freedom to choose, saying they still need to ask for your opinion. When you hesitate, they impatiently ask, why are you so indecisive? You always drag your feet when choosing something, but once you muster up the courage to make a firm decision, they immediately criticize you, saying, why are you so stubborn? You won't listen to anything you say. Or when you tell your parents about your hobbies and interests, they'll say, we respect and support your ideas. But as academic pressure grows, their attitude changes, and they start asking you to give up everything. They spend all their time studying, telling you that academic studies are your primary priority, and everything else can be put aside. Thus, those things you once loved slowly transformed from supported dreams into burdens that interfere with your studies. So-called respect is merely a fringe benefit, barely accorded within the limits of academic performance. You gradually realize that this false respect, disguised as openness, is far more suffocating than blatant control. Because if they directly tell you this is not allowed, at least you can confidently refute or protest. You must listen to me. But they use gentle tone, using the excuse that they're doing this for your own good, to package all their control in a way that's incredibly practical. This makes you feel overwhelmed and even filled with guilt when you want to resist. You begin to fall into a powerless dilemma. On the one hand, you fear being accused of being indecisive and labeled weak for hesitating. On the other hand, you fear that your persistence will be criticized as being too assertive and unwilling to listen to advice. As a result, you gradually stop expressing your true feeling because you already understand that no matter what you choose, you will ultimately be unable to escape the answer they have already determined. This phenomenon is known as learned helplessness in psychology. When every active choice you make is denied and corrected, you gradually lose the courage to fight for it and the right to make your own decision. Over time, you lose confidence in your judgment, even blurring the lines between what you like and dislike. Even more unbearable is that you find yourself instinctively resisting contact with your parents. Every time you hear them call your name, you feel an inexplicable irritation. Every time they try to communicate with you, you feel an almost uncontrollable rage and resistance. But once these emotions have vented, you sink into a deep well of guilt, blaming yourself for being too sensitive, for being too harsh on them. You begin to struggle between irritation and guilt, questioning yourself countless times. What went wrong? Actually, you're not at fault. The real problem is, it's never your fault. So, what can we do? Gradually break free from these seemingly respectful, but actually controlling shackles, regain our own decision-making, establish clear psychological boundaries, and learn to resist manipulation. From now on, whenever your parents interfere with your decision under the guise of superficial respect and your own best interest, try responding clearly like this. I understand you're doing this for my own good, but I've my own ideas. I hope you respect my decision. Or, I understand your suggestion, but I'd prefer to try it my way first. This approach doesn't escalate the conflict, but clearly conveys your position. It also demonstrates your commitment to your decision. Your acceptance of your parents' emotions is also a way to steadily establish your own boundaries. Slowly, reduce the chances of being manipulated. Try expressing yourself gradually and assert your own ideas. You may not be able to completely refute your parents' ideas right now, but you can use a gradual approach to slowly guide them toward your perspective. First, tell them how you feel. I know you're doing this for my own good, but your approach puts a lot of pressure on me. Then, explain your own thinking. I didn't make this decision lightly. I've truly thought it through and will take responsibility for it. Then stand firm. Please let me try it myself. Good or bad, I want to face it myself. This isn't rebellion, but rather the beginning of your learning. Take responsibility for your own life. Step 3. Strengthen your decision-making on small matters and gradually build inner confidence. You can start with the most everyday things in life, such as what to wear today and what to eat. Practice sticking to your original decision and stop being easily swayed by others' suggestions. Even if your parents disagree, gently but clearly say, "Thank you for your advice, but I want to follow my own ideas." These seemingly insignificant decisions will subtly help you rebuild your judgment and gradually regain your trust in yourself. Remember, the key to growth is to gradually take back the power of decision-making from others and truly exchange it for your own.